everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's been a minute. I've been needing to film this video, I promise. I didn't forget. I have just been so busy. I am moving out soon. I'm finishing up my last week of work. Today is finally a day where I do not have work and I do not have anything else planned. So we have the Q&A, as you can tell since you clicked on the video. I have a lot of questions from all you guys. I wrote them down. I don't know. I could have typed them up and put them in my phone, but I just figured that I would write them down. I don't know why, but they're all written down. So they're just like a bunch of random questions. There's like no specific category or anything that they all fit into. It's just a whole bunch of questions. I guess the first one I should answer are, what are my goals for my YouTube channel? Personally, I just like making videos. I really enjoy just being creative with them, being able to do what I want. Editing is really fun to me. YouTubers can agree with this, is finding video ideas. So thank you for giving me this video idea of Q&A and giving me questions to answer. But I guess one day it would be pretty awesome if I did have like a high sub count or like a lot of views. Like, it would be really cool. And I have been on YouTube for quite a while, but I haven't taken it too seriously. I've tried to take it serious at some points, but overall I just get overwhelmed by all the new information, and I just have had like a part-time job and I've just stuck to that. But as I get older, I have less time to make videos, and so it's harder to try and figure out time to like take it more serious, and if that makes sense. But if it did get big, I would not complain about it. I would love it, but I still just love making videos. It's just a fun thing for me to do, and I've kind of been able to turn my hobby into YouTube a little bit. I have no big numbers by any means, nothing big. It's just fun for me and hopefully fun for you guys to watch. My biggest achievement so far in life, definitely graduating high school. As I said earlier, I'm moving out and taking a big leap, a big change in my life. It's gonna be such a big change, and maybe that will be my biggest accomplishment, achievement in my life. Yeah, being able to graduate high school, I say that's a pretty big achievement, and that has been something I've been looking forward to my whole life, and now it's over, and it's really weird to think about that I have now graduated high school. I don't have to go to high school anymore. I'm definitely going to still be going to school for about another year, but it's school that I get to pick, something that I am interested in, and I think that's really cool. Favorite movies? I don't really watch a lot of TV, like TV shows or movies. I don't really watch that. I watch YouTube, or I scroll on Instagram and scroll on TikTok. I do like Pirates of the Caribbean just because it's a good family movie. I like those. They're pretty good. The music on them is really good, and it's pretty funny. Like I said, I'm not much of a big movie person. I can't even name movies off the top of my head. I don't really watch them. I'm a music person. I listen to music all the time. Here's another question. Do I go to the gym or play sports? I have avoided sports basically my whole life. I played a little bit of t-ball when I was really little and tried ballet for a little bit, but that didn't work out for me, so I just kind of avoided them. I've broken a lot of bones, and so I'm scared to play a sport that I would break more bones, because I break my bones really easily. More stories about that later if you want, but my shoulder is kind of messed up. I can't raise it very high, and it gets stiff and sore a lot of the times, so I've kind of just stood my ground away from sports. I did do a volleyball camp one year. I didn't really enjoy it because I'm also scared of like flying objects coming at me, and a volleyball coming towards my face is no thank you, because basically ever since I got hit in the head with a baseball, I have been terrified of flying objects coming towards my face, and sports is definitely going to involve that, so I've just stayed away from that. Same with the gym, because I'm scared of lifting weights because of my shoulder and like breaking bones easily. Like, I have literally head to toe I've broken, so it's, I don't know. And there's not really any gym to do where I live, so it's like I've done some home workouts, I will admit that, but not much. I do want to eventually. Like I said, there's not really anywhere to do it where I live, except for there's one at the high school, but I didn't really ever mess with that, and there's one gym I think, but I don't want to mess with that one either. What type of music do I like? Pretty much all music except for heavy metal, rock, and country. And Taylor Swift. I'm sorry, but I can't listen to Taylor Swift. Hate me if you want, but I can't do Taylor Swift. But I love so many artists. Like, this brings me to the next question. Have you seen any bands or artists in concert? I just got back from a concert like yesterday. I've seen I've been to 6 concerts, I think. I've seen Benson Boone twice. I've seen Maroon 5. I have seen Hozier. I've seen Niall Horan, and I've seen David Kushner. Yeah, those are my artists. That's how many people I've seen. I really would love to go to Alex Warren or Thomas Day or Almost Monday or Connor Price. Like, there are so many people. I listen to a lot of music. Like, my playlist is so ginormous. I put them basically all in one big playlist and I just shuffle it and just skip the songs. I have one for like family road trips and I have one for my car, but like other than that, one big playlist, and there's a lot of music in it. My favorite subject in school, I was not very academically smart. I struggled really hard in language, history, and math, and science. Science, I struggled a bit, but I think science probably came easiest to me. It doesn't make sense because science has math in it and I suck at math. Unless it's just, I don't like doing giant boring math and don't know why I'm using that math. Definitely more like the hands-on classes, like sewing and fashion. I really enjoyed that. I didn't take any like cooking classes or foods classes, but if I did, I think those would have been some of my favorites. I did a filmmaking class. I've kind of used some of those skills here, but they don't really relate to how I've been making my videos, but I have learned a lot from those classes, and I do like film classes, and I did take a photography class in middle school. I think I took 2. That was a while ago, but I do really enjoy more of like the arts, creative, hands-on classes compared to like science, math, language, and history. Like, ugh, no thank you. What is the worst injury I have ever had? That is easy. There was a foul ball at a baseball game. I was standing in line for a hamburger. We were gonna give, my mom and I and my younger sister were in line, and we were gonna give this hamburger to this guy in the stands. We kind of noticed, like, we're like, oh, we can give him some food, like maybe he might need a little extra help. And we were standing in line to get the hamburger, and a foul ball. We were like barely, here's like the net, like the safety net. We were like barely not behind it, I guess. And there was a foul ball, probably going around 90 miles an hour. Little 9-year-old me took a hit to the head right here, crushed the skull in my head, and I got emergency surgery. I have metal in my head now, and I have a giant scar from about the middle of my ear to the middle of my head. So that was my worst injury. It took me, I don't even know how long it took me to recover, but I wore headbands, like thick headbands for a while to cover because I didn't have hair for like the front half of my head. And then finally when it grew out enough, I got a pixie cut, and it's just grown out basically ever since. So it's been about, I think it's been 9 years since that happened. Last month was the 9-year mark. Yeah, that's my worst injury. Does my family have any big traditions? For Christmas, we used to go to my grandma's house, and like all the cousins and aunts and uncles would go, and we would like do, I can't even remember if we did a Christmas dinner. I think we did. Did a big dinner, get together. We do a family reunion every year, and we did a Christmas party every year, and we would do like the present game where you take the present, you pass it, you read the story, and it says left, pass it to the left, right, pass it to the right. We would play that game a lot, and then you open your present, the one you get at the very end. So we did that, but we kind of stopped doing that because our family has gotten so big. I'm not sure, but as I've gotten older, we've like started to make more traditions just in my family. Like every Sunday we all watch a movie together. We used to never watch movies very often, but now we try and watch one every Sunday just because we're all home. I have wisdom teeth questions, but I'm gonna save those until the end and just combine them all together because they're kind of all the same thing. So I'm just going through the other questions until I get to those ones. What TV shows have you been watching recently? Right now, just The Good Doctor. I like that one. It's pretty good. I got Hulu because I got my Spotify student account, and I can link my Hulu account to it and just pay in one. So I've been exploring Hulu a little bit more because we haven't really had very many streaming platforms. So now I have Hulu, and The Good Doctor is on Hulu, and I've been wanting to watch that and have been watching it. I am about 10-12 episodes into season 1. It's really good. Don't spoil anything if you've seen it. What are my favorite YouTubers? I watch quite a bit. I like Ryan Trahan is good. Liam Thompson is pretty good. Max Fosh, I like his videos. He puts a lot of effort into his videos. It's actually really surprising. And I don't know how he comes up with the video ideas, but he has no social fear. Those are basically like my top 3. Oh, and Jet Lag the Game, I watched that. It's a really good series. You should just go check them out. I highly recommend them. Right now they're in the middle of a season and they post every Wednesday, so every Wednesday I'm like, new episode. Yeah, those are my top YouTubers right now, I guess. Do you play any video games? In fact, I do. Not very often anymore. but I'm kind of picky with my video games. I don't really play a lot of them. I wouldn't consider myself a gamer, but I like the basics. Like I like Minecraft, I like The Sims. When Among Us was popular, I played Among Us. I've played some Fortnite, so those are the kind of video games that I play. I play Mario Kart when I'm around people if they have a Switch, because I don't have a Switch, and I've played a few other Switch games, but other than that, those are like the only games I play. Do I have any tattoos? I do not, and I do not ever plan on getting. If you have any more questions about that, you can ask, but for now, that's all I'm gonna say. What made you start your YouTube channel? I honestly don't even know. I started it so long ago. I've had like 2 different YouTube accounts, and the old one I never post on anymore. I posted games on that one, and like it started off with Rainbow Loom, and it started off when I broke my shoulder. So I have my cousin, if you remember this, which hopefully you still remember this, because this was quite the setup. We piled up like books and boxes or whatever we could find to set up my really old tablet on top and record, because I didn't have a tripod. And then I had broken my shoulder, and so I was trying to do Rainbow Loom one-handed, so my cousin was like helping me. And that is like the first video I remember making. And I would, oh my gosh, I would make slime videos when I was little, like just the most random things as a kid. And then as I got older, I was like, I really like watching vlog channels, so I started making vlog videos, and it's just kind of morphed into whatever I have now, which is kind of anything. I don't really know still what I post. Basically whatever I come up with an idea for, or I'm like, oh, I should film this, then I do. And I just enjoy editing it. Why not put it out there? So that's a roundabout way of answering that. I don't even know. I think every kid has a dream to do it, and I guess I just tried it out. So here we are. Do my friends know about my YouTube channel? I think so. I think they do. And if they don't know about my YouTube channel, they at least know about my TikTok, and they at least know about my Instagram. So there's that. I'm not sure though. I'm not very open about it with my friends or even my family. I don't know. It's just a little awkward, but that's what I think. I think they do, but I haven't like directly told them. But I don't know. If you're finding my video now, then hello. This is such a stupid question, but it's kind of funny. And I answered it in my last video if you watched it. And it's, what color socks do you wear, and are they matching or odd?
I'm not showing you my feet.
If that is your roundabout way of seeing my feet, it's not gonna work. And that is really weird. But I wear white socks, pretty much only white socks, and they match, and I'm a very organized person, and I keep everything in its place, and I hate wearing mismatched socks. All of my socks in my drawer all have their matches, and if they don't have a match, they're sitting at the top on top of all the matches until one gets a hole in them, and I can just put it in with the other sock. I have a group of black socks, but I never wear them. They're all basically the same brand. And then I have fuzzy socks, but all of my socks match. And I will get a clip of my sock drawer so that you can see they all match, because it says prove it. I'm not showing you my feet. And then here's another question. What countries would you like to visit? Pretty much any of them that are safe, I guess. I have been to Mexico, but I've only barely been across the border. I think Canada would be cool just because it's also close. For some reason, when I was little, I always wanted to go to Australia. Now that I'm older, all the snakes and spiders and whatever, I might pass on that one. Australia is a little bit crazy. Don't get me wrong, it's still pretty. Even after all the fires, they still has its pretty spots. But Ireland and Scotland and like that area would be so pretty, I think, to visit. Italy would be really fun. I haven't really thought about many countries to visit because I've never thought about traveling really outside of the country because the US is so big. Barely even been in places of the US, but I've still traveled a little bit. Maybe when I get older and when I move out, I don't know, maybe I'll travel? I have no idea. What are my favorite clothing stores? H&M, 100%. That one might take top number 1. Ross is amazing as well because Ross has cheap clothes and it does take a little bit of digging, but you can find some really good things in there. I have a pair of American Eagle pants I got from Ross for like 20 bucks. H&M, I love H&M. They have deals a lot of times. I can find pants there that fit me and they stay on my waist and they're not like awkward on my hips or I don't know. I like H&M a lot and I have a ton of sweaters from there. This one is not one of them, but I have quite a few. H&M I think is definitely my favorite. And they have some pretty cute clothes. Don't get me wrong, they have weird ones too, but they are sometimes on the expensive side. I normally just go to the clearance rack and I can find some really good deals there, and they're all really cute. I got a sweater for like $8 there, and it is really good quality and it's really cute. It's my orange and white one that I got there. I have a brown one and brown and white striped one that's from Ross. This is from the DI, just in case you're wondering. Do I have any pets? Personally, I don't, but my sister, I guess it's her cat. She has a cat. It's an outdoor cat, but I am allergic to pretty much all animals with fur, so we can't really have any animals. And even if we did, we wouldn't let them inside because we're kind of like, no, I don't want animal hair on anything and everything. So, but I am pretty much allergic to most animals. I've had rabbits before, and when I was a kid I had fish. They all died. We've had frogs too, like toads. When I was little, feeding them crickets. Ugh. Ugh. Going to the pet store and trying to pick up crickets to give to them, that was gross. I never want to, no thanks, never want to do that again. If I had a snake and I had to feed it mice, I just couldn't, like the snake would die because I would just get so grossed out. Like, call me a baby, but I don't care. I would, ugh, no thank you. It is sad though that I am allergic because a lot of people have indoor animals and I can't go to their houses to see them. Just a cat. We only have a cat. He's an outdoor cat, so, but he would be an indoor cat if we let him. He tries to get in any chance he gets. What are your favorite books to read? I don't read. I'm just gonna be completely honest. I do not read at all. The last book I finished was probably one in high school that we had to read together as a class because I had to. Not because I chose to, but I find reading kind of boring. I know a lot of people love it, but it makes me fall asleep, and I don't know. I would much rather just watch a movie. Even if I'm watching a movie with someone and they're like, the book is better, I'm like, well, I don't know that because I never read the book. I just watched the movie and I enjoyed the movie. I just much rather watch something instead of read something. Here's a question. What is something you're really bad at? Dancing. I have no coordination whatsoever. And also math. I'm really bad at math, and I'm really bad at writing. Not really good at like that kind of stuff. Don't know how I pass those classes, to be honest. Something I'm really bad at, definitely dancing. I'm not very coordinated at all. What do you look for when finding new friends? Definitely someone who doesn't try and throw you under the bus, someone who doesn't lie, someone who's not like, oh yeah, I love this person, and then they switch sides. Like someone who is willing to be around you, and someone who isn't annoyed by being around you, someone who is kind, like smiley, talkative, doesn't make up a ton of excuses to not see you, like someone who genuinely wants to be your friend and someone who cares for you. Alright, now moving on to all the wisdom teeth stuff, which happened about 2 or 3 months ago now for me. One of the questions for wisdom teeth is, were there a lot of people in the room with you when you were getting your wisdom teeth out? I'm trying to remember. I think there were 2 or 3 people in there, at least that were in there when I was still awake. I don't know how many people were in there once I fell asleep. Obviously there's no way of me knowing that, but there was the dentist, or like the guy who was doing it. So he put my IV in and gave me my sedatives or whatever, anesthesia. And then there was an assistant there, and I think there was one other person, but it might have just been 2, so not really. But also I didn't go to like a specialist for my wisdom teeth. My dentist just did them for me. Guess not really a lot of people, but I've never heard about a lot of people being in the room with you either for your wisdom teeth. So does the IV needle leave a mark in your arm? Mine did. IV marks normally leave a mark in my arm anyway. I've had quite a few of them. Even like when I just get my blood drawn, like there's always going to be some little dot, like they're poking a hole in your arm and in your vein. Like there's going to be at least a tiny little scab. But they used quite a big IV, they used quite a big needle this time, which I think is like the biggest needle that I've ever had someone use on me before, which kind of freaked me out. Like it felt really big, which, not to freak anybody out, like I don't want to scare anybody, but it was a really big needle. And needles used to not bother me like at all. I would watch like the doctors and nurses like poke it in me, like when I got a shot or when I got an IV. But now, like the older I get, it grosses me out more. Like veins and bones, just ugh, no thank you. I think it's because I've broken so many bones that they just gross me out. But veins are just like a different level. I don't know. It did leave a little bit of a bigger mark this time around. Any tips on recovery from getting your wisdom teeth out? Ice. Put ice on it. I beg you. I did not ice mine very well, and I suffered for it. I paid my consequences. You're like, oh, ice, it's fine. Like, I'm just gonna go to sleep. I'm not gonna put ice on it. Okay, like on both sides. I didn't have one of those fancy little things to put around your head, but like with the Velcro that held them on for you. But I was like sleeping or like so tired, I didn't want to like hold the ice pack up to my face. So like if I would lay down, I would like put the ice pack there, but it would make my whole head and neck cold because I only had big ice packs. But like definitely put ice on it. Don't listen to my stupid excuses for why I didn't put ice on it, but it helps. It really does. Even if it like feels like it just bothers you, because like, you know, when you put cold stuff on, it just feels like annoying at one point. That annoyance is better than the swelling pain. Like the puffiness, like it doesn't really help too much with the swelling. At least I don't know, but I don't think it does. But it definitely helps with the pain. Don't be late on your pain meds either. Like set a timer on your phone so that you don't miss them, because I've missed mine quite a few times and oh, it hurt so bad while I was waiting for it to kick in. If you keep it consistent, you don't have to keep waiting for it to kick in and you're like, oh, it's not bad, I'll wait and take my pain meds a little bit later, like I'll try and hold off a little bit. You're thinking that because you have the pain meds kicked in. Don't wait unless you know you've been on it long enough that you can start like leveling out again. Unless you know, don't do that. Someone said they're getting theirs out soon and they've never been put under before. Is it scary? I've been put under a few times, so like that's the first time. I don't really know because it's happened a few times. The first time was with my head injury. I didn't really know what was going on. I was in shock for that. The second time was with my gum graft. That wasn't too scary, but I kind of knew what was going to happen. What they do is they lean the chair back. At least this is what they did for me. They leaned the chair back. I stuck out my arm and they put the IV in it, and then like you're just kind of laying there. They put on like the little oxygen thing up your nose. It'll just feel weird on your face. You don't even notice there's like air going in your nose. At least I didn't, but it just felt tickly like right here. And then they like strap my arm to the chair, like the arm of the chair a little bit later on, so that I won't like accidentally move my arm and like yank the IV out. And then basically you're out before you even know it. Like as soon as the IV goes in, they put the medicine in pretty fast. It's just like whatever. Honestly, the scary part for me was waking up, because if you watch one of my previous videos, you know that it took them a really long time to get my wisdom teeth out, just for 2 bottom ones, because I only had 2 bottom ones. So I don't know anything about the top, but I know that the bottom 2 are like the worst. My experience was a little bit rough. It took me almost an hour. I think it did take me an hour to wake up. After it, they gave me half a dose to knock me out, and then they gave me, I don't want to scare anybody with this, but this is just my experience, and my luck with medical things is kind of bad. So like no matter what, I always expect the worst. They knocked me out with half a dose, and then they tried to wake me up. Like they let it wear off, and I didn't wake up. They gave me a reversal, and I was like conscious. I knew what was going on and stuff. I just couldn't open my eyes. No matter how hard I tried, I just could not get my eyes open. Everything else was fine. Like I could move, I could like hear people, I knew what was going on. I just couldn't open my eyes. So they gave me another reversal, and about half an hour later I was finally able to like start opening my eyes. And they said I could go home as soon as I opened my eyes, and it just took forever. They were really nice about it though. They weren't like stressing too bad, but they're like, oh, that's never really happened. Like that's not very common. I'm like, well, that's comforting. But I did eventually wake up. I wasn't loopy. I didn't have any weird reactions. When I got my gum graft done, I was like a ball baby. I was just crying the whole time, so I was expecting that with my wisdom teeth out, but I didn't have like any mixed on emotions, and it might be because it took me so long to wake up, or maybe they used like a different type of sedation type thing. I'm not sure, but I was just bleh, like this in the car. I didn't feel like doing anything. I didn't want to do anything. I didn't want to talk. I was just like bleh. Wanted to go home and sleep. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't say anything weird. Like I knew what was going on completely, but I don't know how much people exaggerate when they get their wisdom teeth out, but I was completely fine. I just felt like I woke up from a nap. But anyway, if you have any more questions and you want another Q&A video, then just let me know and put your questions in the comments, or you can ask on Instagram or TikTok, whichever you want to do. But thank you for watching. Like I said, if you have any more questions, just put them in the comments below, and I will see you guys later.